says you're live.
I'd like to call the June 6, 2024 Fort Pickett Local Redevelopment Authority meeting to order. Well, would you mind doing a convocation for invocation?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that we come together, that we discuss the business and concerns of Nottoway County. Share your light upon us, that we may make good decisions for the individuals in this county, Lord Jesus. And we thank you for the beautiful rain that we just received. In your name, Jesus, amen.
Amen. He brought it on, didn't he?
Let's have pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have a guest here tonight, Philip Vanderbeck, Town Manager, Lexington Town Manager, and Chairman Rourke was taking care of some family business. So we're going to run. Need approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, part of the purpose for me being here tonight is, I don't think on the agenda, it's in regard to some potential for an easement or some signage at the airport. And I've got some
So real estate.
real estate, yeah.
Right, and he's in here for two reasons. I do want to ask him to be with us in closed session for possible industrial expansion.
Okay.
And she's preparing some exhibits that I brought with me.
So business that needs to be in closed session and then real estate.
Right, what I'm hoping to do, we got to do two purposes with the LRA closed session. I was hoping that we can get Mr. Van Obeck first, and then he can leave when we get to the other project.
Okay. I don't think we need to change the agenda because we already have the closed meeting here and we can invite the guests to our closed meeting. So, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Mr. Hawkins, you ready for your staff report?
Yes, sir. We're going to go closed session information first.
No, Mr. Tolly's not going to be ready for 7:30 anyway, so I think
Okay.
we'll do.
Okay.
So just let us know what's going on out there.
All right. Okay. Well, a little bit of everything. So, the lease actions, we have all of our, residential, leases are now month to month. We've gotten to the point where it's come full circle. We were doing an addendum as leases came up. So all that's done. So that's a good thing to report. As far as our numbers go, total quarter amount is $8,315.
That's net income.
That, yes, sir. That's for our for the officers club. And year I'm adding up the two. I'm sorry. That's year to date. Yes, sir. Year to date. And on our let me look at the second one. They got out of order. I apologize. That's the officers club. And our leases are current. All of our tenants are paid up.
That's great news. Good
This
job.
month. Yes, sir. And our total monthly income is going to be $38,933.75. That includes commercial and residential.
Okay. I don't see an expense report. Do you have any idea what your expenses were?
Not from this past month because I didn't want to include, we had, one of the things we had done was for $35,000 for a demo for a building, for a vacant building that fell. And I believe $11,000 or $15,000 of that was paid from insurance. So it kind of threw my numbers
So
off.
that was a $24,000 expense on that 38 income.
Yes, sir. I don't have my numbers in front of me yet. So
You said that's pretty common with those expenses.
Yeah, it is, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, the older properties take a lot of funds to keep up and running. That's, yeah, unfortunate. So the second thing would be, one of the things I'd like to note, I'm kind of going out of order. VDOT has requested a meeting for the roundabout they want to put in. No specifics and no details. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a few months back, they'd already surveyed it, but I don't have any more information than that other than an email. That's all I have.
I can tell you what I
You may
do
know
know.
more than me, yeah.
We've got a water line So it'd have to be relocated,
Oh, I got you.
and, they're gonna be seeking an easement
Okay,
from you guys to the town,
okay,
push the water line a little bit closer, right at the intersection where the tank is.
okay,
Get the water line out of the right of way, and,
okay.
I don't think you still own anything on the other side, so I think that's a private, Mr. Gomez. I think it's-
Gomez, and I think Virginia Tech or something owns one corner of that too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what I do know is that you're gonna be getting an easement document
Okay,
from Nottoway County or LRA to,
okay,
Blackstone, is just to relocate the water line. I provided them the documents about 2 weeks ago.
so it's pretty simple, just to,
It's a Ken Walton prepared easement that we've used.
okay, okay.
Okay.
And,
There may be more to it, but I suspect you'll be seeing that.
I got you. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure, it's kind of very vague what they're doing, but I saw them surveying, so I kind of just figured it would come to me eventually. We have, the request for proposals for the timber consultant was mailed out to 27 individuals. No responses, 0,
When was that?
about 2 weeks ago,
No response.
not one.
What I'm concerned of, Mr. Chairman, and I don't know, just, I wouldn't get you uproar yet. We're having some kind of trouble with the post office, what's going on. We've mailed a check to a company that we use for financial Davenport that we had owed them from last fiscal year, and I sent that check out May 3rd, they hadn't got it yet. And that bothers me. So we're tracking that to try to figure it out. And I mentioned to the finance committee, we wrote a check for Virginia Tech, and the check got stolen. And they stopped paying on it. So
The check- then it
I
got-
don't know what's happening out
And
there
then it got
in the
washed, then it got
mail.
washed.
It's called the Sampson area.
Right.
That's exactly right. That's
So-
right.
Well, Shane, what we need to do then
Yes, sir.
is, we have a website,
Yes, sir.
we're gonna get it on the website.
Okay.
Do we want to advertise in the paper with it?
Well, I think we give a deadline at the end of the month, and we gave a deadline for the end of June. So I put along in deadline on that, just to see, anyway. But we could expand it by putting it on the website.
Put it on the website?
Then you may have to extend it another 2 weeks of that. From end of June till middle of July.
And it's a big project, so,
It is.
so have you seen anybody out walking around looking?
No one's come to me, no one's emailed.
How detailed was it? Was it maps and stuff included?
Yeah, it was a packet that, my administrative assistant sent out to
How
27.
did you locate the 26 names?
It was given to us, supervisors.
Kirby.
Kirby had it?
Yeah, he provided them to me.
Okay.
He said very, very good.
Yeah, good resource.
Okay, so we'll just see what happens.
So it was maps included in the pack.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Sorry.
And then it's, but they still supposed to refer to the forestry report we did in 2016.
Yes,
When we said it was available at the office and
Yes.
and with him, so.
If they want, because it's kind of a big pack and I also have laminated, maps for everyone. If they come out, they can take with them more detail. And if they want, I was gonna ride with them if anyone needs me to go with them, because I've already walked all of the property once.
Dick Griffin didn't respond.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know.
I'm gonna text him and ask him
Yeah,
if he got it.
that's
Well,
why.
that's a good way to see
I'll
somebody.
text
That's
him.
the first question, is
Right there.
did it arrive?
That's who I walked the property with Mr. Griffin. I had months ago.
Was John Good on it?
I can't remember or not. There were two
Timberline.
attorneys. Attorneys are real estate representatives, so they were on there, amongst all
I
kinds.
don't know
all
that. I
over the
remember
region.
Brandon.
I'm gonna ask was Brandon on that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we'll check with Brandon and see
I'm not sure, but
if the package even got.
Leave of faith, stand that G, was he on that?
Say it again.
Leave of faith.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get Andrew to scan that, the ones on there and get her to email that to you, so y'all can look at it.
That way we can check with.
Yeah, we'll check it out, okay.
People that
We'll
we
do that.
individually know.
I'm surprised.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know, y'all. I got a feeling, I
You
got a
would
feeling
think
it's
that all,
something,
you would think that all of them out of 27.
right, me either.
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with Dick tomorrow, see what he got.
Okay.
I'll probably see John Good at lunch
He's Woodline.
likely, so I'll just mention it to him.
Please have them call me. Whatever I have, I'll provide for
All right, what else you got?
Yes, sir, the, real estate, request for proposal for the 2 homes. No responses on that from any brokers or realtors on that either.
Okay.
But I will tell you, I have, a business owner in the area that wants to buy one of the homes, and possibly two, and already has a realtor. But I told him we had to wait, like everyone else, to go through, the request for proposal. I said, yeah.
If you don't receive one,
You don't see one, I mean, the way the state does, you close it and then you can try to do it again, or you can get it, maybe do an auction. I don't know.
I like the auction idea.
Right.
Like I
Cut
said,
drive, we can still put a minimum bid on.
I have someone that wants them right now with a realtor.
Were those mailed out as well?
I don't,
The ones with no responses on real estate, those were mailed out as well?
Yeah, I have them here if you want to look. By the way, I had them appraised and the information. If you want to look. I gave them-
So,
I saw they had the paper.
Mr. Gordon, so you know, like Tammy Raymond, they did how they did it different, and I heard the courthouse was full of people bidding on that property and stuff.
That's right.
I think
that was in the newspaper. Because that's people saw it.
right.
There were 40 people in it.
Yeah, but that was advertised. I talked to Daddy at the post office.
The purpose of this appraisal, I know we talked about it.
These are the two, the well
I had
houses
to
that are
do it so
inside.
if the if any of the brokers or real estates responded to me, I knew what we had to offer.
So,
I had
but
no-
typically appraisal is not done by the seller.
No, it's
Paid for
not.
by the seller.
That's not.
So my question is why was these appraisals paid for with county tax dollars?
Because we didn't know what we had.
You
And
didn't
I
know what you
had,
had in the respect of what it was valued at?
I had no idea what it was valued at because of years and years of deferred maintenance before this board came on and before I was part of the county. These homes, that long-term tenant's been there over 10 years in that one home. I personally hadn't done an inspection for it. I went into it and I knew we had realtors coming in and I needed a professional opinion what to do.
Up to the value of it.
Yes, sir. And
Based
another reason why.
Based on condition.
Based on condition, not only that, it goes back also to, when I was talking about, surveys. The one house on 2323 Darville's Road, it's in the middle of a larger plat. It's never been separated from a larger plat.
I remember you talking about that.
This is part of the reason. I couldn't give any value and know because I don't know how much acreage is attached to it.
So is the acreage defined in here? Did the appraisal company find out how many acres it is? Because they couldn't do a complete appraisal without that.
The gentleman on 186, I think it is Reservation Road, I believe it's 4.5 acres. He could do one because it's complete. There's a survey on that where he knew what the acreage was. This particular one, he just gave a value of the house and he estimated, I believe, 6 acres to go with it. He did an aerial view from Google to estimate.
Well, that ain't worth paper road on that.
So that's how.
If he done an estimate of how much land it is to give you a value,
Well, if we decide to sell 6 acres with it, that's what it would be worth. I'm just using
165,000,
85, I believe.
and house ain't worth nowhere close to that. You can look at that, look at the picture of this.
So in other words, he proposed the value to be X based on a 6-acre survey.
Yes, and we could maybe attach more acreage to it or less. He tried to go with that because there's
Then we
nothing
more
out
6,
there.
but I mean,
How big a tract is it located on?
It hasn't, I don't know. I can give you a visual
I
estimate.
would think y'all need to get a rezone before you try to sell it.
Yeah,
Because there's too much uncertainty for a buyer that it may or may not get rezoned, or who knows. Get a rezoned and whatever the minimum in that zoning district is, that's what you slice off, whatever.
A pet peeve that I've been working on with the county Shane is,
Uh-huh.
and Steve can tell you, there's a lot of dollars that's spent unnecessarily.
right.
A realtor comes in and says, Nottoway County, this is what I think your property is worth.
Right.
This is for the buyer to
Right.
have paid for.
Right.
In his loan package. It goes back to that 220 I've got. This was unnecessary, totally unnecessary. And then they didn't even know what they was appraising by, saying, we think it might be 6 acres, could be 4 because we require 5, but let's give them extra. Where's the well and septic tank at? Do you have to give them 6 acres? The realtor would have done all that at zero cost.
So Bo, and I think that's lack of understanding on our part, and I apologize for it. So the first step, what I'm hearing, I need steps. So the first step is to get it rezoned.
I would think.
Then I'm trying to figure
What
out.
are we trying to rezone it from to what?
it should be zoned agricultural now.
And residential, 5 acre, right?
Does it have them, since it's county owned property?
It really, if I,
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what you're here for, but
all right, well, generally, it's sort of a mishmash. A lot of it, is zoned agriculture, but we also have industrial zoning there as well.
Zoning agriculture.
Agriculture,
Give me a preview.
And what's the minimum lot size?
Can you send me that one, Shane?
All right, so while they talking about that, so vote in, what's the next step?
The next step is if you put letters out to realtors to find out which ones are interested, if you're gonna go the realtor, right, versus the auction, who is also a realtor.
But if that property is part of another property on.
Then you have it surveyed off.
That's what I'm saying.
We got survey off that of what we want to say.
Yeah. Which really, this appraisal could not be completed without a survey completed first.
So another thing, so Shane, I'm not real familiar. I'm thinking about the long driveway.
Yes,
The
sir.
long driveway one. I don't know which one that is.
Yes, sir.
The long driveway. So that's how we survey that is what we got to figure out what we want to do with the land on the right side of it and what we want to do with the land on the left side.
The right side of the school owns, left side we own. It's right down the
So
middle.
that's-
Greg, how much right away you gotta have to get in the property?
You always want to have a 50-foot right of way due to emergency service.
Well, I think it's 150 foot county
No, it's, actually, there's, okay.
road frontage.
Let me tell you the regulations first, and I'll tell you what the zoning administrator is recommending. The requirement on facing a public road is 200 feet. Okay, now the zoning administrator's going to tell you, why not just put an easement, access easement going from the road, a 50-foot wide access easement going up. That's the easiest way to do it. I hate flag lots with a passion.
So they have easement on our.
Y'all can put one on LRA property, but there's no reason to create a 200-foot wide because it has to be 200 feet going all the way to the back of the property. And that's going to be a lot more than 5 acres, I assume.
Depending on how far back it's.
Yes, that's correct.
And this
But
was
I
probably built
recommend
prior to the
Just
zoning
do an
ordinance.
easement, 50-foot easement. Described and shown on the plat.
Would that be specifically for an existing residence?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, if I wanted to go out and build me a new house on County Road 609, how much road frontage am I required to have for a 5 acre lot?
200.
Feet.
So it depends on how far it goes back as to.
Well, if
So
you're
if I,
putting a new
but
lot.
but I can't get by with a 50-foot easement on that new property?
You can do a flag, you can do a flag lot.
I'll give you a lawyer's example, even though I don't play one, I hate holding. It's basically, it depends on how the lot is arranged. If it's behind another property and it doesn't have direct access, then it's 50-foot access easement. And we seem to have a cloud, on the property itself. So I'd recommend, since we don't have certainty on that driveway who it belongs to, then we do an easement. 50-foot easement going from Darville's Road all the way to the back.
But what are we gonna do with the land on either side?
The school owns
Put
it.
on the LRA or on the school, I mean, we're just asking. I can ask them.
The school has
Now,
one
what I'm saying
side.
is, if you put a 50-foot easement, is
What
that gonna,
development potential would it make in fracture
Right.
from going forward?
Right.
It sounds like it's on the line anyway.
the road is on the line,
Sounds like between the school and
Good driveway.
the driveway is on the line?
It's in between, it is,
I don't know.
it's in between, picture 100 acres. And picture 75 acres of school, 25 acres LRA, and it looks like an island coming up in the middle. It literally, a straight driveway about probably 100 yards to the right, and there's fields surrounding it. In total, it's around 6 to 8 acres. We're not sure because it's never been separated. That's what the problem was with all this. I'm not sure.
And if I, one last thing, until you'll let me speak here, is that, okay, you might have a physical driveway there, but what matters to me as the subdivision agent signing off on the plat is that you have a 50-foot right of way, demonstrating that you have an actual access point. I'm not talking about the existing driveway, but you're showing, yeah, we have this access and you can keep using the driveway.
If you picture a piece of property, if I were to buy a piece of property that had an existing driveway there, and I wanted interest to the back of the property because I had interest ownership of land back there, I would request for the surveyor, as well as the person who was keeping the other property, to put the line in the middle of the driveway. Then there's no question. It's just as much my driveway as it is his driveway.
And you could.
The later years, it might, like relationships change.
Oh, yeah, you might get some erosion and have to move the driveway, but my line was in the middle of that driveway.
And I would
That's right.
suggest
You
that,
take care of the potholes on your side, he'll take care of the potholes on your side.
Or he give me 100, and I give him 100, we go fix it, then we don't never get it fixed, and I hope I don't have to go that route.
Hey, Dickie, can you send me a?
I would just recommend, there's ways I can do that as a administrator and subdivision, can't forget subdivision. Okay?
So my suggestion is the next step, in order to market land and tell a realtor what you're offering, you have to get it surveyed off to know what you're selling. You have to get some acreage surveyed off, and you gotta meet the county code as far as how much easement you gotta have, what for right of way you need,
In the minimum acre.
in the minimum acreage, and the minimum road frontage. But it's existing, so that's a gray area.
Well, it's probably, the appraiser didn't know the age of the home, we could probably dig in the county and figure it out, but it probably was prior to zoning.
Oh, he probably was.
Right. Is
It's
the other,
it's there.
is the other property the same situation with surveying? No,
No, that one had a survey.
they had a survey, so we good with that. We need to do that first. All right.
I didn't ever see that second one with us.
If we don't do the, make sure I'm saying this right. So we have to survey that, and then what do we do then about this real estate thing? Or should we go
Then
towards,
we'll go to auction.
then we go to auction?
We don't hear
If
it.
we don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Y'all contact somebody, well, no, that was timber, I'm sorry.
No, there's half a dozen auction companies in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Survey one property. And put the line in the middle of the road?
I think take that up with Greg.
Okay, great.
I think let him shed his light on that.
But we gotta get something moving.
Is it going to be a exclusive easement or a non-exclusive easement?
As long as it's an easement and not a deeded right of way,
Well,
it
you
ain't much difference in the easement and deeded right of way.
exclusive easement for the parcel we're selling. Or anybody can use it, so we want to get timber on. Can we use that driveway? Well, you're saying it's half and half. I think you do non-exclusive.
How far back is that house off the road you
It's weird, man, that's,
100 yards, 125 yards.
no,
think?
that's more, that thing is,
That could
Like
factor
4-5
into
football
the
field.
acreage too.
I think,
If you do.
a long ways back there.
It is. Oh, yeah, because you gotta go to the right one to get
I
there.
mean,
That's
that's
the
a
big
big
one.
order.
He's thinking
That's
And
right.
see, that's what I,
Right.
well, let me ask you this, going, sir, and hit this question for you. I don't want it to do anything that's gonna hinder us in the future beside
Right.
that road. You understand what I'm saying?
That's why you made
That's more valuable to me than the house is right now. I mean,
Correct.
that's why it's non-exclusive.
okay.
At 200 feet across, 5 acre lot would be 1,089 feet deep. So if the house can fit in that, then I wouldn't pull the easement if you don't have to.
200, say that again, 200 feet across, 1,000 what?
89 feet deep. And I don't know if that house is that close to the road or even farther back.
Is that going to the, how far off of the back line?
But if you take 43,560 square feet, which is acre times 5, 217,800 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you divide that by the 200, it gives you 1,000. If it's a square lot.
If it's a
To make
square
it a
lot,
rectangle. Yeah.
or be a rectangle since it's size
Right.
30 feet.
I just don't want that house to fit in that. Yeah.
It depends on how far it is. All right, so we're
All right,
gonna
we got
investigate with the survey.
Yeah, we got a little direction here, so gotcha. Then we'll take the next step, and then possibly, after we get that done, then we'll start looking at like doing an auction.
If we haven't received the
We haven't.
request.
All right.
Okay.
Shane, you guys, Shane, you got it ready?
Yeah, just a couple other things.
No, I mean, you got what we talked.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay,
I don't, yeah, I understand.
so one's ready to go if we get an RFP back.
Yeah, we can get that moved.
Yeah.
The other
Don't have to do
one's
both at one time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we'll see. Hopefully with the deadline's not up yet, so someone can still respond.
not. Okay, go ahead. What else you got?
Just so you know, the LRA had some ground equipment repairs. We had one of our tractors and one of our zero turns break. We're supposed to get those back, so that's unexpected expense. The work crew, corrections work crew is still helping LRA and at the landfill and the county courthouse complex.
Shane, just for clarification, does the work crew tear up some of that equipment?
Yes,
Just want to, you win in one way,
yes. And that's why
I just want y'all to be aware,
yes. I have an advertisement out right now for.
I'm thankful for them,
Yeah,
but I'm also, sometimes I'm not thankful for them. Does that make sense?
yes. It wouldn't be the first time it happens.
Okay. All right, that's all.
So- I have an advertising that right now for a,
I would say this. Is it a group effort when the equipment gets torn up? Or is there one or two individuals that aren't able to operate equipment?
it's hard to say because, not any one person's assigned to one piece of equipment and they kind of jump on off as needed. And I have a
You
particular,
don't know who
I don't know which
tore it.
I don't know which one, yeah. And
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
All right, we're aware. Thank you.
Sorry about that, but it happens sometimes.
Yep.
They're down at, Crew Tractor getting repaired. Right now, that's the only place I can get them done, so.
Okay.
Got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Number 11, is that factored in your budget, that part-time grounds person?
Part-time grounds person, already had that money budgeted from a gentleman that worked last year, John Hill. He couldn't work this year because of his, knee. So the money was already there for a part-time person. I gave him the option first and he couldn't do it. So the money's still there in the time. Yes, ma'am. So we're not cutting into anything we didn't already have set aside.
You do have some vacant positions down there though, is it housekeeping?
I don't have any vacant positions other than, the part-time groundsman, and I never advertised, after my maintenance tech resigned last year, I never,
So you have that still vacant?
that's still vacant, and I never filled it because I'm using right now the help from the two team members at the courthouse.
Yeah.
David and Austin. If I can have them help a little bit, then I don't need to hire another person, which saves money because it's $35,000 a year in benefits.
I knew I'd figure it
So if I don't have to spend that, I won't.
So that's a full-time position.
Yes, sir. That's a full, yes, sir. So I decided not to advertise for that. The groundsman position was already open with the funds already ready.
out. We're talking about several things, but hold off on advertising anything further.
Well, it's already in the paper.
Yeah, so.
Part-time groundsman.
But we can hold
You
up
can
on
hold
the
off
line.
on the hire.
We can hold on. They're just talking budget right now, Gene, so what we'll do is,
Oh,
after it
sorry.
closes, we can still hold off.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
okay, I understand.
Okay.
Unrelated to LRA, but kind of, I started on a project with the Sally Court of the General District Court.
Mhm.
That got completed, I believe, 2 days ago. They came back and ended up putting some windscreen that, Mr. Bowen.
Yeah, and I walked in, I couldn't hardly tell who it was.
There you go. So they came back and did that and added some gate stops. So that's completed finally.
So that's done.
Hey, that's
Okay,
done.
Good,
Yes, sir. And
Excellent.
it looks
Good.
really good. I think it looks good.
good.
The only other thing I could say is, number 5, this is just a partial request. If the LRA would like to host, if ever, the board wants to, a meet and greet luncheon, at the Officers Club sometime at the end of June. It would be for a board of supervisors and county administrator and department heads just to get together and introduce each other and let each other know what we do. We're talking just an hour or so, quick luncheon. We would host it. Not a big deal, casual. I personally have found through the years I've been here that, there's a lot of people you see their faces, I have no idea what they do and who they are. And I run into it a lot. And then when I finally have to work with them, I'm like, oh, okay, I know what you do now. I could have used you a month ago.
I'm
It's just
fine with
a-
that if you want to get with Andrea about a date.
Yes, sir.
Well, and just tack on that, some of the department heads have asked me to start holding quarterly, departmental meeting at the complex. And so I plan to start that in July.
Good.
Before you do this budget.
That's a good idea too.
I just thought we had that space at the Officers Club. It may be utilized if you all wanted to do it. It doesn't, we don't have to. It's just
Good
I mean,
thought.
one
Very
time,
good thought.
and because they could get to know you all personally, too. They may see you out, but they don't know who you are. You could introduce yourself in person. Just a thought. And that would be it for the main agenda. Everything else would be closed session.
Now, are we discussing bowling out in closed session?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Club income, that's not, that's.
That's, 8,000, I have to look it up.
The reason I was asking that, so I'm the grant, Mr. Chairman, the grant letter support has already been done. I didn't know if I was going to yield to Philip, if he wants to explain what that grant is, giving Blackstone support.
If you may or may not know, the town of Blackstone intends on replacing about 3.5 miles of what we call the raw water line. It's untreated water. It's sucked out of the reservoir, and cross-country across the grounds of Fort Barfoot, and to the water treatment plant. So it's untreated water. Two reasons this project come up: it's our sole source. If it goes south, we got issues. And number two, which may not be an issue as much anymore, but in order to provide water to crew, it was going to be a necessity because of the volume, and we're going to have to upsize the pipe. The pipe was built in 1942, and we are in the process of seeking funds from three current sources: Virginia Department of Health. And while we're on camera, I'd like to tell those in the cyber world, the guys at Pickett did an awesome job. Fort Barfoot, Colonel Shaver, David Flippin, and we were on a last minute. Documents needed to be submitted to the health department, and they rallied today, and we got what we needed. But for health
You're
department,
still stuck with the bigger diameter, correct?
we are going to make it bigger than, and so it'll be a health department application. We are and have submitted to the rural development folks with USDA. We submitted an environmental and a preliminary engineering report to them, which is the first step. They're much more detail oriented, and their PDRs have to be to a much higher level of technical information. So we're working on that with them. And the third application, naturally a federal grant application, I believe it's in the Department of Defense, and it would provide grant funding, hopefully. And it's not necessarily an appropriation, it would be a competitive grant application. We applied for it about 6 years ago and got turned down, and then we're trying again now that we kind of have our ducks a little more in a row with the PDR in place. Of the three applications, this is intended for a federal Department of Defense grant application. I think it's called a resiliency.
Well, and you've got the State Department out there now too, so that's an
We
additional.
do have the State Department, obviously, you guys have the state police, but they're not on the town utility. The State Department is a help. We're gonna try everything we can to find the best deal. We're working with VML Vaco to with long-term financing plans, how many percents on our interest, on our rates in order to service the debt, that sort of thing, including all the soft costs and the 10% contingency, at $14 million. But we did get good news in that I went back and did some research, and I think we have enough easement currently to replace the pipe. Without having to go back to a Corps of Engineers review.
That's good.
That could have been real slow and
very expensive.
labor. So that's what this letter is for, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody have anything for open session? We're ready to go close.
Can we talk about
Yeah,
signs?
yeah, that's all, that was
Yes.
another thing, Mr. Chairman, sorry.
You want to run with it?
No, go run with it. And I sent that email right after Philip had left my office. So you got it anyway. And I chose option A. I chose option
For a
A.
little while. I just blinked and counted, but it ran. Colonel Shaver, post commander at Fort Barfoot, is keenly interested in installing a sign or directional signage to get to the airfield. This is his idea. He has procured through whatever means in the military, a Huey helicopter that he wants to put out, something very similar to like the tank that's at the main engine. And he would like to pursue one of the three options. Option A, option B, and option C. Obviously, option A is less expensive. We had a long meeting yesterday. We have a airport advisory group. The town participates in UAV Pro that's out on site. Several folks that wear green uniforms, I can't remember all their names. Post commander was there, and Colonel Cree, who is a kind of a gatekeeper. He's a USPS&O, which is the federal real estate officer and manager, I guess. And he's kind of the gatekeeper to say, yes, you can do these things, and no, you can't do these things. In order to make this work, Colonel Cree and the post commander's belief that the easiest way to make this happen is for there to be an easement granted, because it's your property. Can't put it on VDOT property, so it would have to be on y'all. An easement granted to the town rather than to the military's to keep it from being Corps of Engineers kind of fund. And that's all. We're not asking for any money. We'll find the funds and the helicopter and the shipping it down here and pouring the slab and getting the sign put up. We'll work all that. But I am going to request from you, and looking at it, I have to mention the colonel didn't put those on there, but how long is that Huey helicopter? I reckon it's 100 feet long and it's pulling those signs. So, probably 100 by 25, and it may round off in the radius right there. So it won't necessarily be a perfectly square rectangular easement. And if agreeable with you guys, I'd like to get a survey prepared to show you what we're talking about.
At the town's expense,
Yeah.
the survey and everything is done.
The reason I'm kind of flipping with town expense is because we sell fuel at the airfield, and we have a concession where we sell the military jet fuel where all the helicopters fly around. That's actually sold, and that which is profit stays in a fund with the airfield, and so we have cash available to do capital projects.
Okay.
And this would be one of them. I'm like you, I'm kind of tight-fisted, but we do have funds available to do projects like this.
Bill, excuse me, just if it's on county property, I continue to sign applications, so I can just.
10-minute sign application, and I've got to get a dimension, how big a daggone Huey helicopter.
Oh, that's, I know the zoning administrator.
We don't need any more than we got.
But on the signage, the way I read it, think though, Colonel, if we want to put our own emblem on, we got to pay for that. Do you say that? You gonna take it? Oh, okay.
You give us even.
All right, so what we're looking for tonight is just a positive proceed, and he'll have documents for us to actually approve.
I'll get you a survey to look at, and potentially an easement document. Again, I'll probably just use a template.
The survey and easement document, would everybody agree that we're okay with this? This is gonna look nice out there? Help
I'm
us.
supportive of it.
I am too, and I like the single sign. Now, I will explain to you, it says joint use by the town of Blackstone and the Department of Army and the National Guard have a joint use agreement. But you guys have a tremendous amount of property out there too. I mean, you really do, with the LRA. So I'm fully comfortable with you guys being on there and your logo and emblem and all that.
Well, we're hopeful that some of the steps we're taking will continue to help us out.
And
Yeah, this is nice.
with the, I can't say aerospace industry, but I will say aerospace because it was in the governor's press release Tuesday. We see some synergy with UAVs and aviation manufacturers and that sort of thing. So
You've got a parcel here at the back. Is that closed session or is that part of this discussion?
it'll be close session.
Okay.
And I will move on with surveying, maybe the draft.
Yeah. Give us some actual documents. We'll look at it in the regular meeting.
Mr. Chairman, before we do a motion to go in closed session, I would request that we could let our deputy clerk stay, Buddy High stay in. And I think in these situations, I think we should be okay.
Okay. And Greg?
Yeah, great.
So those are expert guests that are going to attend our closed session.
I don't know how much expert they are, but
We need their input.
He got that tall, look in his eyes, boys, want to take the way, and that.
I'm gonna need Greg's input. I don't know where.
Well, we can invite who we need to.
Okay.
All right, somebody want to read it?
I'll read it. I move that the Fort Pickett Local Redevelopment Authority of Nottoway County, Virginia adjourn and close the meeting pursuant to Code of Virginia 2.2-3711A3, discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for a public purpose or of the disposition of publicly held real property where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body, specifically property located near Fort Barfoot, and 2.2-3711A8, consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by a public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel, specifically regarding an LRA lease.
Can I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor? Any opposed?
All right, closed session shut. What, Buddy, can you shut us down?
Yes.
Now you know what Buddy did.